Hey everyone, tonight we're talking about something that affects us all, inflation. What is it? Well, imagine your dollar bill going on a diet. It's still the same size, but it can buy you less stuff. That's inflation in a nutshell. Prices go up and your money loses value. Not cool, right? Now you might be thinking, John, why should I care about this inflation thing? I'm just trying to survive on a diet of instant ramen in hopes of winning the lottery. Well, my friend, inflation affects everyone. It impacts how much your groceries cost, how much you pay for rent, and even how much that lottery ticket will set you back. So, yeah, it's kind of a big deal. But here's a question for you. How do you think inflation affects your daily life? Let us know in the comments below. Inflation isn't just some random economic monster lurking under your bed. There are actual reasons why it happens. Economists, those people who like to talk about money more than I do, have identified a few main culprits: demand pull inflation, cost push inflation, and built-in inflation. Don't worry, we'll break down each of these inflation villains in plain English. No need for a PhD in economics here. Imagine this. A new gadget comes out, let's call it the I Do Everything 5000. Everyone and their grandma wants one. But there aren't enough I Do Everything 5000s to go around. What happens? Prices skyrocket. That's demand pull inflation. When demand for goods and services outpaces supply, prices go up. It's like trying to get tickets to a Beyoncé concert the day they go on sale. Section 5. Cost push inflation. Ouch, my wallet! Today we're diving into a topic that hits close to home for many of us: cost push inflation. It's that frustrating moment when you realize your money doesn't stretch as far as it used to. Now let's say the cost of making those I Do Everything 5000s goes up. Imagine you're a tech enthusiast eagerly waiting for the latest gadget, but suddenly, the price tag is higher than expected. Maybe the raw materials are more expensive, like the metals and components needed to build these high-tech devices. The global supply chain can be unpredictable, and any disruption can lead to increased costs. Or maybe the factory workers are demanding higher wages. Good for them. After all, they deserve fair compensation for their hard work. But these wage increases can also contribute to higher production costs. The company has to raise prices to maintain their profits. This is cost push inflation. It's a balancing act for businesses, trying to keep their bottom line healthy while managing rising expenses. When the cost of production increases, those costs are often passed on to consumers in the form of higher prices. This means everyday items, from groceries to gadgets, become more expensive. Think about it like this. If the price of cheese goes up, it affects a whole range of products. Cheese isn't just a standalone item. It's an ingredient in many of our favorite foods. Your pizza is probably going to cost more too. That delicious slice you crave on a Friday night might come with a heftier price tag. And nobody wants to pay more for pizza, right? It's a small example, but it illustrates a larger issue. Cost push inflation affects our daily lives in ways we might not always realize. From the food we eat to the gadgets we use, rising production costs can lead to higher prices across the board. So next time you notice your wallet feeling a bit lighter, remember, it's not just you, it's cost push inflation at work. Section 6, built-in inflation, the price-wage spiral. Remember those factory workers demanding higher wages? Well, when prices go up because of demand pull or cost push inflation, workers might ask for raises to keep up with the rising cost of living. This can lead to what economists call a wage price spiral. Businesses raise prices, workers demand higher wages, businesses raise prices again. You see where this is going. It's a vicious cycle. Section 7, inflation's impact, shrinking your wallet and savings. Okay, so we know what causes inflation. It's a complex mix of factors including supply and demand, production costs, and monetary policies. But understanding the causes is just the beginning. But how does it actually affect you? How does this economic phenomenon trickle down to your everyday life and finances? Well, for starters, it erodes your purchasing power. This means that the same amount of money buys you fewer goods and services than it did before. Imagine going to the grocery store and realizing that your usual $50 worth of groceries now costs $60 or more. Remember that dollar bill on a diet? It's not just a metaphor. Over time, the value of your money decreases, making it feel like your dollars are shrinking. As prices rise, your money buys you less and less. This forces you to make tough choices like cutting back on non-essential items or finding cheaper alternatives. That means you have to work harder and earn more just to maintain the same standard of living. Many people find themselves taking on extra jobs or working longer hours just to keep up with rising costs. Inflation also eats away at your savings. The money you've set aside for the future loses its value, making it harder to achieve your financial goals. If the interest rate on your savings account is lower than the inflation rate, your money is actually losing value over time. This is a critical point to understand because it affects your long-term financial health. It's like leaving your cash in a leaky bucket. No matter how much you save, if the bucket has holes, your money will slowly drain away. This is why it's essential to find ways to protect your savings from inflation, such as investing in assets that typically outpace inflation, like stocks or real estate. Consulting with a financial advisor can help you develop a strategy to combat inflation. They can guide you on how to diversify your investments and make informed decisions to safeguard your financial future. By taking proactive steps, you can mitigate the impact of inflation and ensure that your hard-earned money retains its value over time. Remember, understanding inflation is the first step, but taking action is what truly makes the difference. Section 8. Poll time. Have you felt the pinch of inflation? We want to hear from you. Have you noticed prices going up in your area? Vote now in our poll. Have you noticed prices going up in your area? Yes, everything is more expensive. A little bit, but nothing too crazy. Nope, not really. Section 9. Fighting back, the government's role in taming inflation. So, is there anything we can do about this inflation monster? Well, the government and central banks have some tools at their disposal. They can raise interest rates to try to slow down borrowing and spending, or they can adjust government spending and taxes. Think of it like this. The government is like a mechanic trying to keep the economy running smoothly. Sometimes they need to tinker with a few things to keep inflation in check. Section 10. Quiz time. Test your inflation IQ. Ready to test your knowledge? Take our quick quiz and see how much you've learned about inflation. What is the main cause of demand pull inflation? Increased production costs. Excessive demand for goods and services. Government regulations. What is the term for the cycle of wage increases and price increases? The inflationary spiral, the price-wage spiral, the cost of living loop. What can central banks do to combat inflation? Print more money, lower interest rates, raise interest rates. Section 11. What now? Protecting yourself and your wallet. Inflation is a fact of life, but that doesn't mean you have to take it lying down. It's something that affects everyone, from the price of groceries to the cost of living. But don't worry, there are ways to manage and even thrive despite rising prices. By understanding how inflation works and staying informed about economic trends, you can make smart financial decisions to protect yourself and your hard-earned cash. Knowledge is power, and staying updated with the latest financial news can give you an edge. So, what steps can you take to fight back against inflation? First, create a budget. Knowing where your money is going each month can help you identify areas where you can cut back. This might mean eating out less, canceling unused subscriptions, or finding cheaper alternatives for everyday items. Share your thoughts and ideas in the comments below. We love hearing from our community, and your tips might help someone else. Have you found a great way to save money? Or maybe you have a question about managing finances during inflation? Let us know. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more informative and entertaining content. Your support helps us create more videos that can help you navigate the financial landscape. Stay tuned for our next video, where we'll be discussing practical tips for saving money during inflation. We'll cover everything from smart shopping strategies to investment tips that can help your money grow even when prices are rising. Because let's face it, we could all use a little extra cash in our pockets, right? Whether it's for a rainy day, a special purchase, or just to feel more secure, having a financial cushion can make a big difference. So join us next time, and let's take control of our financial future together.